This is Seasons of Discontent with your hosts Rick Snyder and Matt Combs on the Hogsty Network.
Welcome to Seasons of Discontent, Season 5, Episode 42, brought to you by Rick Snyder's Washington. And I'm Rick Snyder.
I don't have one.
I better be Rick Snyder. I'm wearing a shirt. But anyway. We'll have to get you Matt's Washington kind of shirt. And we're let's see. Oh, we're back talking about all things Washington sports and life as part of the mighty Hogsty Network on audio and YouTube on video. And it's Christmas Eve, so I have no attention span anyway. So thanks for coming. All right, so Washington's doing a quick turnaround. They're playing Dallas on Sunday. Everybody was thought, woo, this could be for the division title. No, it's not going to work that way. I don't expect a great game. I think they're going to be too wore out. They've lost a couple in a row. Tuesday in Philly means there's practically, and traveling to Dallas means they get like 2 days of walkthroughs. Hopefully they get some players back from the COVID list, but they got to go 3-0 down the stretch and maybe still not get in the playoffs. I'm not sure, but they've got to go 3-0. I don't see it. I just see a team finally saying enough already.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm Heineke or Allen probably will be back for this game. But then again, this could be a Garrett Gilbert revenge game. He did play for the Cowboys last year and threw for like 250 yards. But yeah, I don't see them beating Dallas. I don't see them beating Philly the week after. They may beat the Giants because both teams are just like, meh, whatever. New York may shut Danny Dimes down for the year with the neck injury. So who knows who will be playing there? Last week it was Jake Fromm. It'll be interesting, but I don't see them winning this game at all.
And what's worse is then they play Philly at FedEx, and I guarantee you it's going to be 60,000 Eagles fans there and 3,000, 5,000 Washington fans.
It's on Tuesday night. They showed a brave soul on television wearing a Chase Young jersey in that stadium. And I was like, oh man, your tires are flat. You might as well just get drunk because you're going to in for a long night, buddy.
Yeah. It's just, I saw this with the Cowboys fans 2 weeks ago. It had to be 70% Cowboys fans. Mm-hmm. And they're like waving to the Washington fans when they're leaving early. I mean, how bad is that? I mean, we're not giving anybody medium free sodas around here. I heard about that when the Giants fans were complaining about medium free sodas. I was like, seriously, you're getting all worked up about half a soda, free or not, whatever. But you're going to see the Eagles fans dominate the place. That's going to be sad. I hate seeing that. I'd rather see it empty than to see that. And Philly fans are always rough ones to deal with that. So it's not much to look forward to here at Christmas time, I guess. With that, Santa brought you a bunch of coal and threw it all over everybody, on this. So I'm not expecting much for Dallas. And so people are already saying, you got to lose these three, you got to move up in the draft. I'm never for that. You win the games. If you can win a game, win a game. Yeah. Detroit saying, okay, we got one, we're done. They went out and got a second one and beat a good team. So it's been interesting this year just looking at the lines every week when I pick the games. There's so many 10-point spreads in the NFL this year. It's like every week there's 3 or 4 games. And Washington, I think, was 10.5 against Dallas, and maybe more now, given the quarterback changes. I've never seen so many mismatch like that. But yet, surprises do happen. Yeah. We thought Brady would get shut out, by New Orleans.
Right.
What the hell was that? So I think when you're a Washington fan and you had, I think the Philly line went to 9.5 at one point. They should have taken that game off the board. Mm-hmm. But you're up 10-0, 9.5. That means you're up 20 points. Got it. And they lost by 10. Yeah. You got beat by half point.
Yeah. And, it's like you said, there are a lot of mismatches, every Sunday. But if you look at it, the NFL is getting exactly what they wanted by adding that extra playoff team and having the 7, the third wild card team and having 7 total playoff teams. I mean, you have teams that are really in the thick of it trying to win those playoff spots. And, it's really showing the parity, I mean, before the Philly game, actually, what was it? Before the Dallas game, Washington was in sixth spot. They had one spot to drop, and if they had to beat Philly the other night, they would have been in the seventh position. So, does it open up a bad team getting into the playoffs? For sure, but we also saw a underachieving bad team get into the first round of the playoffs last year as division champions and gave the eventual Super Bowl champions a fight. So, there is a lot of parity in the league, and I think this is exactly what the NFL wanted when they added that extra thing. They've been talking about parity for years, and it finally seems to be coming through. But at the end of the day, the upper class of the NFL is still the upper class. I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are the number 1 overall seed. The Cardinals are a little bit of a surprise being 10-4. But Brady's right there, and then you go over to the AFC, and of course there's Mahomes just waiting for you. Belichick is waiting for you. I mean, all the guys at the top, they're staying at the top. It's more that bottom to mid level where they're seeing the most parity. But like I said on the last show, I mean, this team is a quarterback away, and a piece here and a piece there. I still am of the opinion that you go into free agency. There are going to be names out there. We've already heard Russell Wilson wants out. Are they going to get rid of Matt Ryan down in Atlanta because they owe him $45 million and that team is in a rebuild? There's a lot of intriguing quarterbacks that will be available next season. And I think you go that route. If Ron and company wants to win or wants to be competitive and consistently competitive every year, you go out and you get you one of those guys while you develop a quarterback.
We saw why you didn't go for Cam Newton in the end.
Yeah, I'm back, right? I'm back.
I mean, he was good for one game and still lost it.
I'm back on the bench.
I could go Matt Ryan. Russell Wilson, I think his best days are done. And
yeah,
I wouldn't go with him. And he's older, but I'd go Matt Ryan if they could get him. Question, what are you going to pay? But, I mean, they need some things. They need a linebacker because Jamin Davis ain't it. So you got to screw that. You got to still be thinking about a receiver on there. I was thinking the other day, the most valuable player in some respects on the field is the tight end. If you have a really good tight end, it changes so many things.
Well, look at last year compared to this year. Logan had a breakout year last year. We're division champions going into the playoffs. This year, Logan's hurt 2 different times. And look, I said this the other night too about John Bates. I really like John Bates. I think he can develop into something. That play from that pass from Gilbert that on the 3rd and 1 that he took for 20-some yards, that was pretty. I mean, the kid has potential, but in this league, I mean, we saw it with the Patriots when they had Hernandez and Gronk. This is a 2 tight end league. You need 2 dominant not dominant. You need 1 dominant tight end and you need another upper tier tight end that can make plays. A lot of these special teams have that. Look at what Brady's doing down in Tampa. He's got Cameron Brate. He's got Gronk. They got OJ Howard. They got all these good tight ends. I mean, tight ends are effectively an extra wide receiver that can block at times.
Yeah, there's 2 players in last year's draft I really was interested in, Micah Parsons and Kyle Pitt. I thought both these players are going to be really good. Could Washington get one of them? And they didn't. But tight ends, they've got one. I would think Logan will be back next year, be okay. But I would just kind of realize that, man, tight ends are much more effective. I mean, look at Washington. They can't ever cover a tight end. That burns them all the time. Happened again against Philly on there. But they've got things to go get. One thing they're trying to go get is a stadium. And there was a report of Washington is talking to 2 distant Virginia counties, Loudoun and Prince William, about a possible stadium. And I basically just call BS on this whole thing. This is a classic move. Snyder's trying to amp up his leverage, talk to 2 distant places that are crazy enough to try and throw money at them because they're not going to get any closer to D.C. Hate to tell them, Prince William's 35 miles from the White House, and they are no mass transit and a horrible traffic situation already. And Loudoun County at least has the Silver Line coming and the Redskin Park Ashburn facility, whatever, is still there, but it's 31 miles from downtown. You do this, you lose your Maryland base, which is the lesser of the two, but still, you don't want to give up any fans if you're this franchise. Not historically, you've had them. It's just a leverage move, in my opinion. Snyder would be crazy to do this. Yes, you get more money. Is it a cash grab? You get all this, but you're in the middle of nowhere, like Pontiac, Michigan was, and that sucked. And they finally moved back to the city. I think it's just a waving at Maryland of, hey, this is what we need in Maryland. Okay. I mean, as a Maryland taxpayer, and you are too, go to Virginia. Best of luck. I'm not going to that stadium anyway. By the time it gets there, I'll be old. But
see, I'm also of the opinion where I don't go to the stadium now. So it's not going to change my fandom. I got my 65-inch 1080p sitting in my living room. That's what I like to watch football on. Because when they start sucking, I can turn on the red zone.
Well, what you don't see coming is the new 5G virtual reality stuff that within 5 years, you put on that headset, you feel like you're in the game in your living room. It's going to be a game changer on watching sports and other things too. It's going to be awesome. I've been studying a lot about this, working for people. And that's why I go to the stadium and pay all that money. And this new stadium, no one's talked about personal seat licenses yet, but don't you worry about that. It's coming. It's going to be expensive as hell to go to these games.
Oh, yeah.
You want to drive out in the middle of nowhere to go to them too? Nah, this is all a mess. Put it on the river. Like they said, you can have your moat, divert the water over, throw the Cowboys fans in, whatever. But I just laugh at how much credence, the media is a lot of young people. I covered the last stadium move. I know I've seen this stuff before, but most of the young media is not. And I just know how BS works. And I'm not putting my life savings down on it, but I don't see him going to Virginia there. If you can find a spot inside the Beltway of Virginia, go for it. People say, oh, you're a Marylander. I'm not against Virginia having that side of the team. I want you to have it. You pay for it. But there's no land. That's the problem. There's no land for that. Just like there's no land in D.C. Put it on the Maryland waterfront. It's right on the border of Virginia.
Yeah.
However, take that deal, man. You get it without paying for it. It's just across the bridge.
Yeah, and you got a casino right up the hill.
You're going to marry all that stuff and have Danny World as part of it, and it would be pretty cool. So, all right, before we go, Christmas is tomorrow. Are you getting anything good?
Yeah, new pair of socks, maybe some underwear.
That's the old man Christmas, man. I got a couple of shirts already. My wife says, here's an early Christmas present. I said, so that I could tell it's the shirts. It's this is something you want me to wear for photos on Christmas? Yes. Okay. I've been married 41 years now. I understand the game.
I'm at the age where I have the money. If there's something I need or something I want during the year, I go buy it. I mean, I don't need to wait for Christmas or birthdays anymore. All I want for Christmas is give me some gift cards because in springtime, I'm going to buy a new grill and the gift cards will help it make it cheaper.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, we have royalties on the show, so don't you worry. I'll get you a briquette with those.
I don't even know. Hey, look, just give me the 20-ounce soda you owe me. That's all I need.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, everybody out there, Merry Christmas. We'll see you next week for the New Year's editions of the show, so to speak, on there. So I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt. Merry Christmas.
Yep. See you. Bye, Charlie Brown.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Seasons of Discontent on the Hogstye Network.